be part of the discussions. I think few of the holders were part of the marketing meeting yesterday, sharing their inputs, like people like Eric, B-Man, the Genesis holders, Abs, multiple other people that were part of, not just the team, and also a recent, major addition to Gojira, a valuable addition, a guy called Tim from Animoca, um, and he pretty much like became I would safe to say, maybe a Jira Maxi, and he was part of the marketing meeting yesterday as well, like giving a lot of insights. So it's been like phenomenal, like multiple different uh, guys and big names that we have met and connected with on a personal level the last few days. It's obviously gonna, we all are flying out in another 2-3 days, but I think we are really in a solid position. That's pretty much what I want to assure everybody of, because it's the kind of feedback and the impact that PG has had on a lot of projects has been like crazy, and we got to know only when we met people in person how much they respect us and things like that. Anyways, so Bali, I think one of the main things that we were doing at Bali was obviously having like IRL team meets, workshops, where like yesterday the workshop was on marketing, and it was like almost an hour and a half of on presentation on the marketing side, which I think Kemuri is here. He'll probably be touching upon it. You'll see the quality of work that every single person in PG is putting in, because I think if he's going to share the slides, you guys have a look and give a honest opinion on how the PG's professionalism is, even for a team meet, and how much of effort each of the department has put in for these presentations and workshops, right? So you're probably going to see that, like, I mean, we'll probably show you that, in a bit, and a little bit of updates. So the product that we were hinting at acquiring, it's done. The deal is secured, and all those things. I think people are misunderstanding, what we mean. It's not just the product acquisition that's going to make it bullish, right? Anyone can just be like, "Oh, we acquired this." It's not going to make a difference if there is no clear value proposition for the holders, sustainable and like a long-term, forever kind of thing. But at the same time, having the right people along with us, in this acquisition, right? So there's about like 6 major guys involved. One of them is obviously, VCs like Sison, and a guy from Sino, and like few other top people from different VCs and stuff have come in along with us. So it is not about PG acquiring this product that's gonna just make this bullish. It is about PG acquiring this product along with these VCs, raising funds, for further development, and at the same time bringing back passive value to the holders, which only PG holders get access to, and at the same time, it's a freemium model. So allowing every single person in the Web3 to potentially use the product, gain exposure to PG, love the product for what it is, and then potentially look into buying into PG, because PG will be the one that's getting the passive benefits, unlike the other people who are just using the free side of the product. So we would like to announce it, but as I mentioned, we just want to make sure our fundraising is completed, to actually have the impact that it deserves and needs. Yes, it can have an impact as soon as we announce now along with the VCs, but it's going to have a major impact when we announce it with the fundraising completed as well, potentially. So it's not going to be long, all right? We are just, as soon as possible, we'll be putting it in, but just wanted to confirm that the acquisition is completed, and the VCs have also have come in with us, and they'll be leading the next rounds that's happening for further fundraising and development that's going to benefit everyone, including PG, because this is a time where projects are failing hard. right? Projects are failing hard. They don't have funds. They're running out of funds. They're running out of ideas. They don't have a product in hand that is scalable and also provide, passive value, back to the holders, right? I'm not saying passive income, passive value, which can mean multiple things, right? So when they run out of idea, obviously they're just going to keep doing the alpha calls and IPs and all those kind of things. We are not exactly an IP based project. I'm just going to share my screen and show you guys something. I want obviously to keep it as just keep it within this group or whatever. But check this, right? Just check this, how PG is being portrayed outside to the outside world. All right. What I mean by that is basically, um, let me just show you this. Oh, wait one sec. Can you guys see my screen? Right. So, just wanted to show this. Right. Look at this. For instance, this guy, Chris, for instance, as I mentioned, this is all like purely, just to show how we are being portrayed to the Web3 space among the big boys, right? And this is our own niche, right? I want people to understand PG is not, not just a normal regular NFT project. We are playing with the big boys, and we are creating our own niche or carving our path, which is not comparable to any project, right? Chris, founding partner of Sison, advisor for Pixelmon Anime Metaverse, right? And Pixelmon is owned. I mean, Pixelmon is obviously one of the biggest projects. We have had some history with them. Reaching out to me, where they're raising an angel round for LiquidX, the studio behind Pixelmon and Anime Metaverse, and asking us if we are open to investing personally, right? That's one of the things. And another one which I got today morning was one of the biggest wallets of BTC ordinals called Xverse. And this founder, I've never even spoken to him, but somehow we have reached a point where he's reached out to us to see if we are interested to participate in the Xverse apps investment as well. I think those of you from the ordinal side would probably know Xverse. It was one of the most used wallets, and just give a little bit of thought about it and see how we are being portrayed to the founders and the Web2s and the VCs. Maybe we are not attracting the crazy degens who just kind of fall for the crazy hypes and stuff. Potentially, yeah, maybe. But I think what we are building, or somebody like, I think this guy, I really want to meet him. Like, there's a guy called Nostradamus. I don't know how many of you have are following him or something. But this guy is kind of like understood us. It's almost spot on. He's understood what we are trying to do. Let me just share the thread, right? Which is something I really appreciate. And this is the kind of crowd, to an extent, that I think we would be attracting and we'll be hoping to attract. Let me just find this tweet because let me just one sec. Let me just try to find the tweet. Yep, this one. So this tweet here, and a lot of things that he's been posting has been spot on what we are trying to do, which is crazy. I think this guy is one of the really, really smartest guys, I think, probably in the space. But a lot of his threads and a lot of his things about PG, for instance, has been spot on what we are trying to be and what we are trying to achieve, which might not be clear because we're not taking the traditional path of just IP, and alpha calls and alpha groups, but something much more, right? So, anyways, we are definitely being like extremely recognized in the back end, and how is it going to benefit holders? I think Um, that's for you guys to ponder about, but it's very simple, right? Like, access to things that is impossible for a common person to get, while PG is competing with the big boys, is what we are aiming to do, right? As again, I want to mention this. Might have mentioned this a few times, but you guys were so happy to get like airdrop of, let's say, Blur, airdrop of Ape, or whatever, looks rare or whatever. But I think what you're not recognizing or realizing is that that money is not potentially going to change anyone's life, right? Potentially that's not going to change anyone's life, $1,000 or $2,000. But what if you had the access to buy ApeCoin at 5 cents and not just an airdrop, right? If you know what I mean, like where you're not just getting $1,000 or $2,000 airdrop, that's probably like, hey, you're gonna burn it out in a few days, versus an opportunity to potentially invest $1,000 or $2,000 in tokens like Ape, along with the VCs in the early investment opportunities. That's gonna potentially give what point zero. It's at what Ape at 5 cents to even $4 is almost like it's almost like what 80x. I think, yeah, pretty much like 80x. This is access. So this is just one of the accesses, right? This is not something where money can buy or easy to replicate, right? Another project coming into the space cannot replicate what we are trying to do, right? So Ken has brought another opportunity that will be announced today, if I'm not mistaken, Ken, for PG Capital. So these are access, or maybe it's already announced. Okay, yeah, I think it's going to be announced, I think, today. So this kind of an access is not something that somebody can walk in tomorrow and just kind of replicate or copy paste, right? So that's something I wanted to emphasize. We are heavily focusing on accesses. We understand that people love passive income, yes, right? Like whatever said and done, the real utility is when you help holders make money, right? That's the truth. How do we do this in a sustainable, non-Ponzi-nomic way at the same time? Like, keep it, you know, keep make it non make it as a non-security at the same time, right? So this is what our this acquisition is going to help us achieve. So anyways, so this is one thing I wanted to touch. So PG Capital is another one. And okay, so Alpha League, the project that we'll be offering through PG Cap is the same one that Tim works for, 70% owned by Animoca Brands. All right, and I think pretty much if you go to his profile, you guys can find what the project is. I guess it's one real dope project. Multiple top brands are have been secured to be part of the product. I'm not sure if the brands have been informed yet, so I'm not going to talk about it. But yeah, I think that's a really good opportunity that's coming up for the holders, and 70% owned by Animoca. So it's we're bringing in some early opportunities again. And the last one I wanted to touch, I know it's probably not the PG stuff, but still it's to an extent it's PG. Is about the ordinals. I think the Dejiras have been flying. Might even flip the PG Genesis. I don't know the way it's moving now. Just like the D gods, So we'll be making an announcement today. All right, we will be making an announcement today about some really cool stuff for ordinals. I'm just going to briefly talk about it. So there's going to be a BRC20 token that we have already inscribed. That's going to be free to claim, or um, majority of the ETH communities, a lot of TOC holders, a lot for the TOC holders, almost guaranteed for the Genesis, a lot of allocations for Fusion. Obviously, Dead Jiras will be the highest, getting the highest allocation. And this token is not just going to be like a normal token that we drop and it's done with. It's not about utility or anything, but it's mainly that we have almost secured, not almost, as in like we are in the signing stages of a major exchange that's going to list the token, right? So this is pretty much one of the biggest, opportunities that TOC and dead Jiras and even PG holders. It's going to be you need a Bitcoin wallet obviously to claim it. So I would suggest you guys to create or tag Shin if you got any doubts, because Shin's been amazing, and he's one of the main reasons for the success of TOC and Dejira. Single-handedly, he's been handling like so much of things. So let's consider it as almost like an airdrop for the entire PG community and Dejiras and TOC and a lot of ETH communities as well that will be getting this, the drop. The only thing you got to pay is an inscription fee, which is, I think, something which you guys will be maybe aware of, which is not, which is very common. But there's the token as such, the allocations. There's no cost for the tokens. So whatever the inscription cost or whatever the thing is, that's the only thing that will be there. So in short, this is probably in a way like a token, and just wait till the official announcement as well, right? I don't want to. I'm just kind of like, because I would like to announce it after we sign, which is why we haven't announced the exchange. And I'm also going on Spaces with Binance in 1 or 2 days to talk about this. And so I think Frank and myself and Zbit, I think three be on Spaces. I think that's going to be like the one big exposure for us. And I don't know if you guys remember, thanks to Tata, I think Binance was actually tweeting about me, asking where is Shannon, and it turned into a meme a few days back. And it's crazy how a meme turned into a connect that led into one of the biggest spaces. I'm going to go along with two heavyweights like, who's the guy? I think Zbit, and wait, I'll just confirm the name. It's going to be Frank and Frank from D Gods, and where's the other one? ZK Shark. So ZK Shark is another, ordinals, like influencer. Anyway, so I think we're making moves. I would say this could be a interim airdrop potential opportunity even for all the holders. So I would definitely recommend you guys to kind of just play around, the wallets of BTC. Maybe I'll have Shin maybe run a tutorial or something in a day or two, on setting up the wallets, how it works, because he's extensively, been on TOC and ordinals, and he's super active there, and he knows a lot of things that I don't even know about. So maybe a quick, thing of how this works, because it'll allow even the ETH community holders to claim these tokens. I think recently one of the tokens that he got, I don't even know if it was listed. It's a BRC20. I'm not. Tata can confirm it. It did a 20 or a 30x from the point where it started, even with the inscription fees and stuff. So, so a good way for us to gain an exposure, because who doesn't want, like free claims in a way. And at the same time, for maybe $5 or $10, you're going to get this inscription or whatever. But you need to understand how it works, which wallets to use, how to sell them, where to sell them, which exchange are we listing with, and potential Dejira listing in Binance as well, which is something that they're very keen. Yeah, I mean, I think I spoke enough, but I think it's going to be something to give back to the community. And please do not. So yeah, Binance, there is nothing. So Binance is mainly for the spaces. So yeah, like it's. I'm just trying to. How do I reveal this? Okay, so in short. All right. In short, just download this wallet, or we'll keep a tutorial. But just familiarize yourself how things are going to work. All right. So it's not far away. It's going to be in the next 5 to 6 days max. You want to finish it off by then. The token drops, token claims, and things like that. So shouldn't be you know really far away. Any questions about the ordinal side as well, please do ask Tata. So as mentioned, once again, the biggest allocations will be for Edgira, followed by TOCs, followed by Genesis, Fused, and Gen2s, and other ETH and BTC communities. So, and Dead Jiras are also having something special airdropped, another airdrop coming up. Not a token, but something special, something that's got value, something that's currently also in trend and meta. So, yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward. I think we are getting a crazy exposure for PG as such. You guys were thinking when we launched Dead Jira, some of you, right? Cash grab, and all those kind of things going around. Like, trust me, like that's the furthest away from stuff that happened, because every single thing that we have invested back, and we are getting crazy connects because of the ordinals. We were the earliest. We are literally the earliest project that's got some credibility in the ETH or the Sol communities to launch a major collection. And also, we are in talks with another. Um, just confirm with Tata once again. Um, yeah, we are the earliest to inscribe, before even DGods, right? To inscribe a collection. Crazy historical piece, if you think about it. For Jamie to have had this conviction, spend money by himself, inscribe these NFTs, I mean, ordinals, before any of the projects did. So, um, yeah, I think it's literally like really crazy connects that we're getting. We are almost always in the top 10, top 15 in the ordinals, and a lot of people reaching out to us because a lot of projects have this wash trading going on even in Magic Eden and things like that for the small numbers. But they're easily one of the best and well-known projects, and proud to say that we are 100% the earliest. And I know on-chain monkeys did drop earlier than us, um, but that's not a collection. That's a single piece that they have inscribed. No one can own anything out of it. It's just a single piece of 10K on-chain monkeys that was inscribed early on. And also, it's going to be crazy. One more thing that I want to talk about is that the inscription numbers held by TOC, apart from dead Jiras, is probably even going to be lower, because they're in the process of acquiring a set of 60 uh, ordinals under 10K. And who's going to get the potential opportunity to get their hands on this? Obviously, it's going to be the TOC and the Dejira community. So, and I don't know if you guys know, but under 10K is going for crazy amounts. I think the floor of let me just look at the under 10K collections flow. It's close. Yeah, floor is about 0.12 BTC. The floor of a sub 10K collection, even the crappy ones, not even the a proper product, is going for 0.12 BTC, and we are acquiring a collection under 10K to bring it under our umbrella. So in a way, even we'll become the earliest than even on-chain monkeys, technically earliest ETH-based project to inscribe a collection and have full ownership to it. So we have a sub 10K, we'll have a sub 50K, and also a sub 100K. And I think now the inscriptions have gone crazy. And for all those guys who asked how is ordinals going to help PG, this is a slap on the face for everybody who, I mean, not to be arrogant or cocky here, but there was a real FUD going around, and people DMing me stating that we have become greedy and shit to launch ordinals. Now the ETH, because of the ordinals pump, because of BRC20's pump, isn't every single PG holder getting an airdrop of a token that's probably going to do well? At least it's a free claim at the end of the day. So how is it not coming back to the PG's OG community? Right? Like, how is it not coming back to the OG community on something? the trust on the team is very important, guys. We have never dropped random shits or never fell for other metas, and we took this upon ourselves as ordinals to pick it up. We never did open mint editions when many projects fell for it. We didn't do 3Ds and blah blah blah, whatever. Like, the metas, when metas were changing, people just kind of like trying to capitalize on it. Ordinals, we were really bullish from early on because of logic. This is something, a testament to how smart the team is. That's if people don't understand, they don't understand. To have the conviction early on, believe that, why the bullish scenarios for why the ordinals could do well, and inscribe early on, build a community on it, build a product on it, give an early chance for the PG holders, sold the TOC at 0.03 ETH, if you, and giving the first choice to the PG community. If you had max minted, that's zero point 0.5 ETH if you had sold at the top, or even now it's at 2x, the mint price. And you know what's the worst part? Sub 100k in BTC, right? This is something you guys have to look at. Sub 100k in BTC, the floor is 0.0075. All right, just have a look at this, right? This has got like 0.0075 BTC, which is roughly about what is that in ETH? Let me just check this. The floor of a sub 100k is this thing, which is 0.12 ETH roughly, right? It's roughly 0.12 ETH, and check what's the floor of TOC, which is 100k, under 100k, inscription, right? Wait, let me just. Yeah, so the floor of under 100k collection of TOC is technically 25%, right? It's technically 25% below. So it's 2x the mint, but the first 2000 is technically 25% below the floor of the same token BTC, which obviously we're going to bring in the burn mechanism, which means it's going to shift there. But this is the kind of product that we have, and PG holders had the choice to mint this, max mint them if they believed in us. 0.03, it's 3x now. Anyways, so yeah, I think that's pretty much. I think I covered all the points I needed to cover. What's coming up next, what's happening, and obviously a lot of interesting stuff. With doing it one step at a time. The communication could have probably not been like very frequent in the last couple of weeks, but if you trust us, just hold on for a little bit, right? We're back anyways, from next week, but it's purely a trust-based game at this stage. We have been here for 2 years. Someone asked, I don't want to name, but someone asked, why hasn't there been an update on the finance reports? And it's kind of like a little bit sus or whatever. Not in a bad way, it's natural. But Ken and team have been working heavily on the acquisition and PG Capital that they didn't get the time to post it, but it's ready now. So the next this thing, I think sometimes transparency is problem. Like, no one goes and questions other projects who take so much. What's happening to the funds? What's the financial statements? I'm happy that we have set the standard where holders are starting to ask what's happening or where's the funds, although all the funds are on chain and they can do it themselves. But sometimes when we are busy and we are really, stuck, I think transparency is a problem there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not it's not that straightforward or easy for people to just accept that, okay, we trust the team. So far they haven't done shit, and the probability for them to do shit is less. I'm all over the fucking Twitter, man, like doxed to the extent where if I'm going to rug the project for, and I'll be honest, right, I'm not flexing, but I'm richer than the project, so there's no need for me to, it's one of the few projects where the founders have maybe more funds than the project itself at this stage, at least at this moment. So there's no reason for the PG team to ever rug, and we have enough runway, but yeah, just a little bit of trust in case we delay on few things. Just keep that in mind that it doesn't matter. We are one of the very few projects, at least personally for me and Jamie. We are not dependent on PG funds for our day-to-day activities. So, in no way for us it would change, our lifestyle or anything. It's purely a passion-packed, name-making kind of an attempt for us when we started PG or even like running PG at this stage. So, yeah, I mean, just wanted to put that out there. Um, right. So, what else? I think, yeah, I think I've pretty much, that's pretty much what I have to say. And now you guys can also, yeah, I think it's going to be crazy. Next 2 weeks is going to be fun as well. Right. So, what else? Yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Kemuri. He's going to show you some of the presentations, some of the slides in the presentation. Please give your honest opinion on how professional the slides are made. Although this is not for public view and this was purely for the team, credits to RNA as well. Like, probably the most organized guy in the team. Real shout out to that. And I'm more like, my trait is more like Elon Musk in a sense, like it's super erratic. I'm not the super typical organized guy. I mean, I have random meetings. I don't even know what my schedule will be till the morning of the next day. And this guy's the extreme opposite of that, like, scheduling like month in advance. He's done some amazing slides. The marketing team has done some amazing slides. And okay, I'm just gonna even post where Ken is going. So we connected with the VC called Catapult Group. They're hosting in the Google headquarters, right, in Hong Kong. Only 100 people are invited, right? The biggest of the biggest names in the crypto and the NFT community, the Google headquarters. And guess who got one of the spots? PG. And we are the only, I think, NFT project representing. We are similar to the investment in Metagravity, where we are the only Web3 or NFT project to feature along amongst the VCs. Ken is on the way to Hong Kong on June 1st to be one of the 100 people that's got this excellent opportunity that people die for. The who's who of the space is going to be there. Let me just post this. Yeah, just think about it. Just absorb what's happening. PG, right? Like, this is not an opportunity like you can buy into, right? This is not something everyone is going to get an opportunity for. It's kind of frustrating for the team as well when we see a lot of projects do nothing, but they have the hype and like nothing, no substance, but purely because of hype and stuff they sustain. But here we are, like creating a path, creating a niche, and being different to every single project out there. Who's the closest competitor to PG in terms of the Web3 VC world, Web3 investments, investment opportunities, acquisitions? Why do people reach out to us? Why are people reaching out to us when they want some acquisition done, when they want fundraising done? I'm in talks with Morgan from Root Roop and potentially assisting with the fundraising for Seeker, the platform as well. A good friend and good product. I'm personally investing in it as well. But why are people reaching? Why are every single project that you guys are bullish on potentially reaching out to us for a lot of things, mainly investment related or VC connects? How did we manage to do that? Just think about it, right? And think how valuable that is. Why they're not able to do that. I'll leave it here, but just a food for thought for you guys to think about or listen. For whoever is listening to it later. Basically about like it's we are built different, guys. I think everybody says that they're built different, but the legit built different with non-Ponzi-nomic move is probably us. So I'm going to leave it to Kemuri, who's going to show the maybe Kemuri, maybe if you can share the screen, just show a little bit of the slides. And this was important impact slides that you had, which we all loved, especially the direction, the strategic Steve ones and stuff like that. I think that'd be crazy.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yep,
Can you
all
hear me?
good.
Yeah, awesome. Um, yeah, thanks, Shen, for that. Um, I think some of y'all who've been chiming in, seeing what PG's been up to over the last month in Bali, like you see, people having a good time. For some of us, it's basically been a business trip. Like I brought my family, but I've seen Shan and Amresh and Jamie more than my own wife and children. So if that's anything to show kind of our dedication to this project and how hard we're working, um, I don't know what is. But um, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna actually kind of go through the entire deck, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna give some high level um, points about the discussions that we had yesterday and kind of a culmination of our learnings. And what we'll do is we'll share a more condensed deck where we'd love to have like more of your guys' feedback and impressions and how we can sort of keep building the learning and getting stronger. Um, but we had a really great session yesterday. It must have felt like a few hours, to be honest. Like we presented for about, I think, one and a half hours, and we discussed for another hour or so. Um, and we talked a lot about like over the past year. I think we've definitely grown as a project, and we've grown from a marketing perspective. So as you guys know, like Shan and the team, like there's we're not short of ideas. So we've pumped out tons of products, tons of different services, tons of new innovations, new partnerships, a lot of opportunities with VCs. There's been a lot to sort of handle, and so I think um, some of the good things that we're able to handle from a marketing perspective is to at least professionalize our brand from where it was say 2 years ago. Right, we were very kind of degen, multicolored, multi-message project, and maybe it was sort of difficult to see that as beyond just a PFP project. So I think we've done something to really professionalize, bring that to the next level, and bring sort of a consistent tone and manner that yes, we are an NFT project, but we're not just an NFT project. But what I like about what Shan said is I feel like we are sort of going to another level. Like PG is step changing, as you said, rubbing shoulders with VCs and taking equity in multiple sort of rounds and companies and investing and buying up other companies. We're definitely like taking a turn and we're maturing. And I feel like the opportunity from a marketing and a branding perspective to consolidate an identity moving forward is not only going to be really important, but I think what makes us really excited as an entire sort of core team. I think just to give you guys a little bit of a flavor is that we started to think about who are the people that we really attract in a community. Like, what's the makeup of this community? Um, and I think it's safe to say that a lot of you guys and a lot of those across the projects are, I guess, not your average degens. Like, of course, we're all degens in some sort, but we tend to attract people who are a little bit more savvy, people who are a lot smarter. Like, I've met people who are like investment bankers into M&A, like strategic consultants, people who have been working as like advisors in Web3, but also in Web2 have like a significant amount of experience. And that's a very different makeup of the type of people that are in our project as well as the type of people that we attract versus other projects. And what we realize is that one thing that we definitely need to improve upon, which is what we've all kind of agreed moving forward from yesterday's discussion, is identity. And as you guys know, joining this call, there's so many different things that we do. And part of that is great because we're pumping out new innovation. Um, but for some of you who perhaps you've been in incubation yourself, you've been in startups yourself, the journey from 0 to 1 is not linear. It's pivoting, continuing to develop what I call MVPs of different propositions and different products and different services, learning, growing, pivoting, and kind of continuously on an upward vertical, figuring out sort of who we are. Um, and I think what's pretty clear, as you guys have noticed over the past, especially 3 to 6 months, um, is we've done things like PG Capital. We've continued to bring a lot of business via the Launchpad, but also we're making these different investments from a equity perspective, right? So if you think about PG Capital, what does that do? It gives you guys early access to ICOs. It's all about being early on investment. When it comes to launch pads, as well as when it comes to Fusion, what do those do? Those are opportunities that are really rare. You don't get that as other communities. You don't get that as a part of other projects. But we help you guys by incubating projects, giving you access to advisory, but ultimately giving you access to funding and investment. And I think what Shan said earlier, for those of you who checked the tweet on Nostradamus about what he said, he said like PG equals, I think it was a combination of like A16Z, Sequoia, and all these sort of like investment companies. And I really see that we're growing into a new type of project. We're evolving into a new type of project where we are like a one-stop shop for smart investments and for smart investors. And we sort of call that as like a next generation investment company. And that's why I really believe strongly in some of the things that Shan had said, because like go and find somebody else out there like us. Like it's really hard. Like, I've been a DGen for a couple of years now, advised different projects. Um, we're very unique. We're sort of like a gem in the rough, if you will. And what's really unique about us as a next generation investment company, a next generation investment bridge, is that we provide investment opportunities, whether you're a holder, you're a builder, you're a VC. And that's why it's next generation. And what is truly unique about us, and this is a lot of credit to Ken and to Shan, is that we rub shoulders with the big guys, the VCs, those guys who normally we would never get to meet behind closed doors. But at the same time, we democratize access to the little guys like myself, the retail investors, the NFT buyers, so that I can get investment access into something I would normally not get, so that I can get investment access into perhaps my own project that I would build and get advisory from. And so I think that is the sort of single-minded thing that is not only our strength, but it's also our DNA. That's what really makes us unique. And so we really want to further embrace that, but unify the brand, unify the products, as well as the communication around that. And I do believe, I hope that that resonates with a lot of you in the VC right now, because it definitely resonated in our super long discussion yesterday as we had some of the holders in that meeting. They all basically said, like, I was talking about PG with my friend and this and that, and to be honest, like, you guys do so many different things, and it's difficult for me to communicate that. It's difficult for me to talk about why they should buy into this project, why I'm so bullish on this project. But after having this discussion about identity, that we're a next generation investment bridge, then that's going to allow not only you guys to talk about us, but it's going to allow us to tackle the friction that might come along with anybody trying to onboard and understand the project, but to scale and to build. So I'm really bullish on this new direction that like we've all been embarking on over the past few months, because it's clearly, as Shan has said, like we're not the same. We're really not the same as your average NFT project. And by packaging it with a strong narrative with this, I hope that the clarity of the brands is going to bring the right type of people. The right sort of VCs are going to take notice, because they're going to be like, hey, this is a company, this is an empty project about investing. And I do believe that with the right sort of content, the right sort of messaging, it's going to attract the right people into the project from an NFT perspective. People that are going to want to buy in, because they're not just your average person across projects, but they're in it for smart investments. You know, it's not to say that, you know, they're not into meme coins and they're not into buying other things here and there, but like their IQ is a little bit higher. They think about things a little bit more strategically. They're not only valuing the short term, but they're also valuing long term opportunities for themselves. So that's kind of the long and short of it. I think I went a little bit longer than I planned, but because not everybody's here, not everybody's going to get a chance to perhaps listen to the recording. We'll make a condensed version of this deck that we shared with the team yesterday, and we'll throw it out there. And we'd love to have you guys kind of further build, give us ideas, and any feedback is super welcome. So that's it for me. Shan, any builds?
No, just maybe if you can share maybe a couple of slides or something from what you guys presented. I think, you know, the cool ones or whatever, because I think there's a lot of really cool slides because these are things that happens in the back end, and like, you know, which people never get access to. And even just wanted to show to people, like even for a meeting like this, how much effort the team puts in. Like, you know, so if you got access to share you know, some of the slides what we showed yesterday.
The brand house slides.
Yep, sure. I'll drop some slides in, and I'll drop them into the VC.
What is that? Okay, so this one of the things was, I think it was posted in the Genesis. I'm just going to post that here. Was I really like this? This was my favorite. I think. Where is that thing? Let me show this. Yeah, this one. Who are the target? Who are the target investors? So I posted the picture here. Yeah, so this one, right, for example, I think it's a very nicely done, you know, a slide, just one of the slides, who like just creating this. When people ask, why should I buy into PG and who is PG for? I think that's very important, you know, to identify clientele, I mean, identify the consumers or the investors or whatever, but PG is not for everyone, but there's something in PG for everyone, right? So, you know, they created this thing where to explain to the team as well, like who are our targeted audience. You know, whether you're a degen or an investor, you just want to learn, you want to get onboarded into a safe and a you know, strong and community, because many people, their first experience has been a rug, right? Where they enter a project and it's a bad experience because the project is like, oh, we are shutting doors, and they're like, damn, bro, I just came into NFTs and what's happening? Like, you know, the project shutting doors, or even especially the projects that launched in 2021, that's completely run out of funds. Many projects have run out of funds, right? And because they reach out to us, we know about it. There was a reason why I went and dumped a lot of my NFT 6 weeks back as well. 6 or 7 weeks back. But the point is, even for a person like, if you see one of the personalities here is Eager Emily, right? PG, I'm not just dreaming and I'm like becoming. So looking for a community where I can learn from the best and grow as an investor, for instance. Somebody who's coming in new to the space to give them an experience, maybe not a floor pump, but at least not a dead project. Where the project is completely dead and shuts the door. Yes, floor pump is not something obviously we can't like straight up guarantee, but at least first experience for someone can be like, hey, I entered a project called PG. Yes, the floor didn't do a 10x. The team is working every day. I'm learning a lot from them. Because of which I bought into a few other NFTs. I did a good flip or learned trading. I learned this thing. I learned about investment opportunities. I got some amazing investment opportunities, trading or whatever. That by itself is one set of an audience. And if you really are looking for people that are, I mean, no offense to a lot of other projects, but many projects don't feel like a family. We are here like a family, like legit. We are not just a business. Yes, we are professional. The way we, run it is all okay. But how many projects actually where the founders and the team they stay with the holders? You guys won't believe we're moving like friends. And I don't think there's any project like this. Any project where there is a founder or a founding team that's going to stay with the holders for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, doing everything together, sharing a lot of things. That's no ego, no headweight, nothing. Oh, I'm a founder, I should stay in this expensive villa. Nah. I shared room with B-Man. 20 days, me and the Genesis holder, B-Man, we shared a room together. I didn't even meet him before. The first time I met him was on the 1st of May, right? Living like a family at the same time, extremely professional as a business and as a NFT project or a Web3 tech startup. This is something we want to listen to the public in Web 2 and or the when new people come in, they see the good side of Web 3. Right? The good side of Web 3 is something where when new people come in, they see like, damn, this place feels like a family. I'm getting answered to all the questions that I ask. I'm like welcomed here, not like the god complex amongst the team members or something. Guys, can you guys hear me? My laptop died. Yeah, all good. Yeah. So, anyways, I think pretty much this is where we are at as a business, and that's one slide there. But I think there's look at the other slide, the value proposition. What just identifying. We started as something, we are turned into something. It's confusing the people, confusing even it's confusing for some of the holders, maybe even. But now we are taking this approach where we identified, learned everything, and still the best part is we learned everything. We still have funds in hand. We have a lot more funds in hand, a lot more products in hand, an opportunity for us to restart fresh without having to rug. You know, like I know a lot of projects would say this, that if they had an opportunity to restart from the first, if they had all the funds again, they learned from all the mistakes, they'll restart and they'll do a better job. We knew that we are not probably, the first step we took at PG was me and Jamie and the team accepting that we don't know everything about Web3. So when you don't know everything about Web3, how can you build a product or do something as soon as you mint out, waste the funds, and then not have a product market fit, and then lose all your money and then cry that money is gone or mismanagement of funds? So initially, all we did was preserve the funds as much as possible, but at the same time, observing, trying different things, trying different dev teams, cheap devs, every dev to try. And obviously, things didn't work. Everything didn't work. But then we found the balance. Dead Jira Mint was an example. Amazing website, experience, multiple moving parts on the website, everything done for a very reasonable price, and at the same time, flawless. In the past, we didn't have that kind of a flawless, execution. We were learning. We were trying to find the right combination of not overpaying, but at the same time, delivering. Yes, we don't have the comfort like Azuki, of having like multi-million dollars in the vault, but it didn't matter for us, right? The Dejira website or the Dejira's execution is as good as any other Web3 project's drop that has ever been done. And that was done with a budget that's like $5,000 or something, which is because of us finding this right devs from different places where we can get these things done for quality and also for cheap. So yeah, I think Ken shared a lot of slides here. The building blocks, and just for you guys to just go through. It's just to show the effort that the team has put in the back end. It's so easy to discount all these, but we take things seriously, right? We take things seriously. It's not guys will see us partying and stuff and all. We do everything, bro. We do every single thing. I think Sav made a tweet yesterday. I think that was, the tweet was perfect, showing the 10-hour gap, what we were doing 10 hours before versus what was happening 10 hours after. I think was actually, like a solid explanation or an idea of what's actually, look at this, for example, right?
Hey, boss. What would you like? Can I get a double
This is
double?
what we were doing.
Actually,
Like,
let me get
night
a
we were
three
out,
by three,
wake up in the morning,
protein style,
go to,
animal
some
style,
of us go to gym,
with chopped
just work out a
cheese.
bit, come for meetings,
Uh,
pretty much,
let me
have a fun
get
time as well. No one can complain that
regular fries
Bali
and a
entire trip
diet
was
coke,
only work, work. We had a mix
and
of
that's
things.
it.
We went for some,
3 by 3 animal style, real quick. Chopped
scuba,
cheese, protein style.
like snorkeling and like some island trips and tours here and there. All on personal funds, by the way. So it's not the project funds. So just to clarify, and yeah. Anyways, yeah, leave it here. I think we spoke a lot about, you know I think a lot of info was shared, I assume. So I'm going to pause here, and this week is going to be, fun. Keep a watch for the ordinal side, and thanks for all those who trusted us when we did the ordinals. And there's a guy who left PG Genesis because we dropped ordinals, and he sent me a massive DM as well, like, about how we lost hope because we dropped ordinals. And it's not taking a dig at anybody, but it's just that, it's not like we are perfect, but at least hear our reasonings. Just see why we are doing certain things. It's not for money. Yes, we can make mistakes. Obviously, there's, we 100% are not like, forever, no mistakes. But one thing I can guarantee is that we're the least greedy team or people out there. So if we are dropping something, it's not just for us to make money, but because we see a potential opportunity in there. And this is a elephant in the room that needs to be addressed, right? The Jira voxels, yes, that's the one collection that's below mint price, and not a lot of progress has happened apart from access to Discord, and all that was dropped as a metaverse asset, and sandbox and stuff is kind of like almost dead. We are resolving that issue as well, right? That is going to be resolved. There's going to be a clean and a clear resolution for Jiraverse and Jira voxels. A reputation for us is more important than anything. So people who trusted and bought and minted or held, there will be a solid resolution, that we are working on to, for keeping them, and to prove and bring that trust back to the community that, all right, if PG makes a wrong move, or at that moment it was seemed right, but then not the best move, they'll always find a solution to rectify and clean up the mess. So that's something I think no one is no. I don't think what we're going to do is has ever been done before by any project in terms of changes that's coming up, but that's going to show and an out of confidence from the holders that PG would do the right thing. So yeah, that's pretty much it. All right. Any questions before we wrap it up? Yeah, I think we should have. Can you share with us what PG is about? PG is about um, attracting all Sims, like definitely DJ into the community, who's going to spread the word in Twitter. Down below all the females, the crypto baddies. So that's what PG is about in one statement. So all you Sims, join us. All right. So I think I mean, just to answer the question in a proper way, I wanna Kemuri or Ken, have you got that line? What Kemuri presented yesterday? What PG is about? Very powerful one-liner. I mean, I don't want to mess it up by paraphrasing it. So that one-line explanation of what PG is about, I think is something I want to share. If anyone asks, what is PG? This should be a good explanation. I'll wait for Ken to post that the thing, and then in the meantime, have you guys got any questions? It was great also to meet Aku and Wajda, two of the faction CEOs. Yep, this is the one. What is PG? PG is a next gen investment company, a Web3 investment bridge that connects opportunity across holders, builders, startups, and VCs in the blockchain industry. We rub shoulders with the big boys, but also create opportunity for the little guys. It's not just ideas, right? It's not just ideas. Um, you know, it's more than that, right? Ideas are one of the accesses. Accesses could be trading tools. Accesses could be mining rigs. Accesses could be, obviously tokens is one thing and all those kind of stuff. Accesses could be to funding. Accesses could be to VC connects. Accesses could be to marketing, to people, to whatever is needed, right? Which is something which money can't just buy, right? You got to work for it. You got to network for it. You got to have a good connect with people, maintain a good relationship. It's not easy for everyone. You have to be a extrovert, but at the same time, you got to be professional, and also at the same time, be ready to switch gears and party with them. Like in Bali, we had a professional dinner, and this massive rich guy invited only me to a private, like like a club, and he booked a table, and we spent like 6 hours together. This guy is raised $25 million, 2 months back. It's called Peter Ing. Peter Ing from he's from London, originally from Philippines, and we connected so well in the dinner of 10 plus people that he only invited me, and we spent 7-8 hours. And the next week, he called the PG holders, about like 11 of us, uh, booked an entire top floor of a club, and even had a screen, special mention in the screen called "Welcome Shan PG" and stuff. And that was like about $3,000, $4,000 that he spent on PG. Why would he want to do this if he doesn't value our connection? So yeah, this is this is pretty much what we are. So if anyone asks what's PG, I think this is one slide. I think you guys could use it. Shan, most important question, Bali 2024. I think possibly, yes, we are looking to make it a yearly event, at least for the team to connect once a year, because it's nice to see, people in person. And, it's always we work digitally and, we meeting in person and stuff. It's kind of like, enhances, obviously the bond and stuff. So, yeah, 100%. I think this will be a yearly thing. Yeah, let's try to bring all the do a meetup in Europe too. More than happy to do if there's the cost can be as cheap as Bali. So find me a country in Europe that's as cheap as Bali, and let's do it there next year. Romania. Imagine, I think an event in London would burn all our funds. Um, so I think Russia is cheap, probably. We're trying to definitely. I think we'll. I would love to meet more holders. It was so good to meet so many of the holders. 50 plus people have turned up from PG community. The Swanee here as well. She's been with us for almost like 2 weeks. She FOMO'd in and bought a dead G rice today as well. Dead G rice floor is now 0.235. So, anyways, so I think it's definitely like and meeting all the OGs like Maverick. I think a lot of you know Maverick. Yeah, so it'll be crazy. Will you have representation at events like BTC Miami that just happened not in Europe? I think that's one of the things that we are looking to shift. Is I love product development, I love ideation, but I think um, the best results PG can get is when I'm on the roads, like what Ken's mentioned here. And I haven't even gone to any event in the US. So it's almost like our presence there is not even felt, or like if we can do so much by just having one or two meetings around Asia and in Australia or something, just the possibility of us, if we move, also start attending events in the US, networking there, and also capturing the audience and the market and the founders and the community there, is going to be huge, right? So after this acquisition, I think which in the next couple of months, I'll be probably, looking to host some, events in the US and meet some key people in the US and stuff. And we are hoping to put me more on the roads, going on different events and as in the panels and as a spokesperson, rather than just be on the product development and the back end side, because that's something a lot of people can do. Just because I like it doesn't mean that I'm the only one who can do. But unfortunately, attending events is something only I can have an impact on, not because of the other talent or something. Whether I like it or not, I've become the face of PG. So gotta put myself out there and meet the big guys. So yeah. All right. No worries, guys. So I'm gonna end this AMA now. Obviously, just for those who missed, just watch the recording early on. A lot of alpha in the first 20 minutes. So, try not to miss. And a lot of exciting stuff. This year is like most exciting. This last 2 quarters is going to be the most exciting by far. I don't. I think it's an understatement, but a lot of major can be a shock to some, but a good shock. It can be, for some people it might be like, it might not. They might not feel like it will work or whatever. But we have always proved haters wrong. More than proving haters wrong, we have always, proved that those who have trusted us have always like kind of made it. So we want to stick to that. So thanks a lot for attending, and catch you guys in the next week. Next week I'll be. By the way, I'm going to while Ken is in Hong Kong attending the VC meeting. I'm going to Dubai on the 1st of June until the 8th of June. Have some lineups for VCs and other people that I'm meeting in Dubai. So kind of like making meets and waves around different countries and going in person and tackling and stuff. So yeah, perfect. Thank you so much, everybody. Catch you guys soon.